Another week of racing kicks off at Del Mar on Thursday, August the 17th. Let's dive into the daily racing form past performances. Take a look at a couple plays for Thursday. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to be looking at the daily racing form formulator past performances. You can get these for free when you sign up for a DRF Bets account. If you don't have one, go ahead right now and take advantage of their deposit match bonus all the way up to $250. So just follow these steps. Go to your DRF Bets account, sign up for an account, use the promo code WINNING when you sign up. Then you're going to want to make a deposit of exactly $250. They'll give you a $250 matching bonus. And then they're going to give you a $10 free bet when you register. So all of a sudden, your $250 that you deposited is now $510. And they will also give you 10 free daily racing form formulator cards. Formulator are the style of cards that I'm going to be looking at right here. And when we're talking Del Mar, don't forget the Del Mar handicapping store. Every single day that Del Mar is racing, you can get past performances, DRF picks, clocker reports, and then on Saturdays, the betting strategies. Head to the Del Mar handicapping store. When you get to drf.com, there's a tab right on top. If you just click Del Mar, and you can go right to the Del Mar shop. Let's take a look at Thursday. We're going to watch the race between the 1 Kissed by Fire and the 6 Make It Snow. To come out of the same race, it was on July the 23rd. And for both of them, it was their first start in a few months. For Kissed by Fire, it was only from May to July. For Make It Snow, it was since March, so a couple extra months. We're going to be watching the number 2 and the number 8 in the race right here. Now, they will be coming back. They're going to be your 2 major players. So this is an important way, to think about playing the pick 5, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to use both of these horses. Keep in mind, Christina's Candy also in this race didn't have a great start, and she has shown that she can be pretty fast. Last year, she was very, very fast. So can she be quick enough to put a little pressure on the 2 Kissed by Fire? Kissed by Fire is on the lead here, and then we're going to see the 8 Make It Snow start to get in the picture in just a moment. And Make It Snow, who has the blue cap out there, Make It Snow. Oh, we had the replay interrupted a little bit. You'll see coming down the middle. Let's take it back slightly more. Here comes Make It Snow, the 8, flying late. And now if we look at both of this horse's races on the grass, sprinting, same sort of thing. Really good late energy, just misses. So these two are separated by just a neck on the wire. The key to the race, let's watch this one more time with the focus on the 4 and see what happens at the start with the 4. So this is Christina's Candy. Fine start. Look, she's right there with the 2, and then she kind of backs off a little. Are they going to get equally as aggressive and try to put the pressure on? Now, at this point, she has to back off. So it's real key. Those 3 races, I think, will really dictate what happens in this race. And honestly, I would lean to the outside. I would single Make It Snow to start the early pick 5. I think you'll get a little value there. And I'm hoping that with Christina's Candy, knowing that they have a little more speed than they were able to show last time out, I think they want to get a little aggressive and just at least keep the 1 honest. So I'd go to Make It Snow on the outside. Next race I wanted to take a look at was the 3rd race. So a $50,000 claimer, 5 furlong turf sprint. The 2 horses that intrigue me are the inside 2. So Silver Lightning stalking in 4th and then loomed up to the 2 path. Just couldn't get by those top 2 who have separated, and they're in here. So if she gets a little more pace to run at, I think she could be in a really nice spot. Because I'm seeing she's resilient, who's very fast, and really seems like there's one way to go. She's in the Army now pretty quick. I think she just wants to go. And that's sometimes difficult in a race where there's only 2 major speeds. Because if one of these 2 doesn't go, then the other could be really tough. But if these 2 are both prominent, like where they've been best. Their best races have come when they're on the lead, and they both seem like they don't really want to sit off all that much. So I'm hoping they both push each other. And I think that would set up well for a horse like the 2, Mind and Refined. This filly's first couple starts were going 6 and 6.5 on the dirt. She didn't really run poorly in either of those races. She showed a little something. Career start number 3, got a softer group, put it all together at Los Al. That was going 6.5 when she just went gate to wire. Then she tried longer and tougher first level allowance, going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. Now you get a big time cutback, so she'll be fit. I think she could put herself in a really nice spot and pass some horses in here. Just in a little tough last time. That race was good. Free and Humble, who was third, came back to win and earned a nice speed figure in doing so over the weekend. So I'm looking at the 2. Mind and Refine, 8-1 on the morning line. And I'm hoping that she could sit just off in here. Let's move to the 5th race. This one is a 1 mile and a 16th. It's a 50 starter allowance on the turf. I'm going to look at the 3, Built Different. I think starting to dig through her form, she's a bit sneaky in here. So her last start, she's only beaten a couple lengths at this level, right? She comes over to Santa Anita on June the 16th after racing at Gulfstream. She was at Saratoga and Belmont prior to that. And she doesn't run poorly. They give her a little freshening, so she's ready to rock for Del Mar. Now, prior to that, her form was pretty good. She was a winner at Gulfstream on May the 18th against restricted claimers. You have some synthetic races that are pretty solid, but that turf form is kind of tough to knock when you start going into the races. One of them, she's in a 50 starter last year at Saratoga. She just has a wide trip. Prior to that, she's at Belmont against First Level Allowance Company. So a couple races where she's just in too tough. I like this spot for her. I thought the 1 is probably the horse to beat. So if you're playing sort of late exotics, I would include the 1, but I'm going to bet this 3 horse at anything over 6-1. Built Different. That's race number 5 at Del Mar on Thursday. One more. And this horse is a little bit shorter on the morning line than I would like. But he jumped out to me. It's kind of a fun maiden special weight race. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Will B was very good in his debut, and he earned a big figure, an 82 buyer speed figure. That was over at Los Al. Then you have Mixto. Look at who he ran against in his races. So you've got National Treasure, the Preakness winner. You've got Practical Move, who was your Los Al Futurity, San Felipe, and Santa Anita Derby winner. They were first and third in the race. That Mixto was fourth. Then after that, Mixto is in the Grade 1 Del Mar Futurity behind Cave Rock, multiple Grade 1 winner, Having a Meltdown, who is a multiple graded stakes winner, Skinner, who we saw in a lot of these stakes races, runner-up in the Los Al Derby, was in the San Felipe, was in the Santa Anita Derby, ran well in all those. New Gate, another one, who's a graded stakes winner. Just look at how tough these fields were that Mixto was in. Classical Cat and Agency, also really talented horses. That was only the second start for Mixto. Then Mixto goes and hooks up with Fort Bragg, who we see go over and win the Dwyer and just missing that Pate Mile. And again, a couple more next out winners in this race. Just all of these races were live for Mixto. Having a Meltdown in the Bob Hope again last time out. Actually, the 2 that I like are right next to each other, the 3 and the 4. I actually was a little surprised. I thought the 3 would take more money off of some of those races. But I really like the 4 in here. This guy can fly. Let's watch his 2 races, and then let's talk about the horses in these races. So this was last year on August the 5th at Del Mar. The race that we're watching, the number 9, is Bad Sneakers. And he's right on the lead, right? He's fastest, and he just can't get over. That's what ends up happening here. He's trying to sit second, then a couple other horses move up, and he ends up getting sort of floated a little bit wider, and he's in between horses, and that's just not an easy spot to be. What I liked to see, though, speed. Now he ends up 3 deep of 4 horses, all lining up across the lead, across the track. Not easy. And let's look who's in that race for Bad Sneakers. So in that field, the winner was Spirit of Machina, who's a multiple graded stakes winner. The runner-up was One More Bid, who is a graded stakes winner in his own right. You also have Traeger, who's a really good allowance horse who's right under the stakes tier. Earned a 94 Beyer speed figure in beating Hopkins last time out. Speaking of Hopkins and Traeger, that's who Bad Sneakers runs into on September the 4th. Hopkins, who's second there, is a graded stakes winner. We just talked about One More Bid, who's a graded stakes winner, and Traeger is a really nice horse. Commander Carl and Courtside both came out of these races to win their next start. Courtside actually won the end of last year, or in the second meet at Del Mar last year, and was really impressive in doing so. So, Bad Sneakers has come out of 2 really strong races last year, but he hasn't raced since then. So let's see how good Mark Glad is off of the long layoff. We can pull up the daily racing form formulator stats and take a look off of the plus 180 day layoff. 18% with the $1.75 ROI. And we just saw a horse recently come back off a long layoff named National Road and win. And already 2 at Del Mar off of long layoffs this year that have won. One of them 13-1. And no, the other, the agency was right before Del Mar, right? That was at Santa Anita. So we have the National Road win and then agency and Picture of a Lady. But a good barn off the long layoff. So now, when I'm looking at horses that I like to play, it's nice to be able to check a lot of boxes like this because we can look at the 2 races that this horse comes out of, and they were strong races. He showed improvement. All of those horses have come back live, and he's really, really fast. The barn is good off the long layoff. You can actually watch his work on XBTV. I thought it was pretty good. And now he's a first-time gelding, which should help. And then we look at his pedigree. He has a dam, Carolyn's Cat, who was a multiple graded stakes winner. And of his siblings, 5 multiple winning siblings of 9 to race. You've got some nice horses in here. Aunt Cat, who was a 3-time winner. You've got Mufaja, who was a graded stakes winner. Now, and there's, I think 5 multiple winners of the 9 sibs in the family. So now, all of the things that I'm sort of looking for, the horse showed some ability and speed in the first 2, and those races were really strong. This barn is very good off the long layoff. You have an equipment change, which could really help a horse like this who's fast and speedy, but now can be a little bit more focused. Now he's probably grown up a little bit because he's had off 11 months to grow up, to mature. Now he's a 4-year-old. Hernandez jumps aboard. I don't think anyone is. It really comes down to the 2, right? Will be. We'll see with some of these first-time starters if they're that fast, but I think Bat Sneakers is really, really quick. So I'm hoping he just gets sent. Bad Sneakers. I would single this guy in late exotics. He's a little shorter of a price than I normally like to give out, but I wouldn't be surprised. Will B will get action. I wouldn't be surprised if Mixo gets action with those running lines. Bye Bye Ray next door was favored in that last race, so he could also get bet a little bit in here. And then on the outside, a couple horses could get a little bit of support. So maybe it won't be real short price for Bad Sneakers, but I thought he was just a standout going through all of the different things that were positives for him in here. So I'd build late exotics. If he's 5-2 plus, I'd play him to win there. On Thursday at Del Mar, best of luck. And don't forget about that Del Mar handicapping store at drf.com. Anything you need when you're handicapping the races at Del Mar,